Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Hi guys, it's Splash and Crash here, back with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over my playoff bracket for the 2020 playoffs. Since a lot of people are making videos on this, I don't want to make a full video on it. And this is going to be relatively quick compared to my other videos. And I'm also doing that because I have a very busy day today, but I wanted to upload today. So, yeah. I'm just going to be quickly going over my thoughts on the 2020 playoffs and what I think the playoffs are going to be like. So, starting in the Eastern Conference, in the first round, Bucks over Magic in 4 games. I think it's going to be a sweep. I'm pretty sure Giannis is missing the first game due to suspension, so maybe the Magic might be able to take that one game, but I wouldn't count on it. So my prediction is Bucks in 4, maybe 5, but I don't think the Magic have it in them to get any more than that. The next matchup is Indiana versus Miami, and like many other people, I'm going Miami in 6. Indiana, I don't know if TJ Warren is legit, especially because the one game he did play against Miami in the bubble, Jimmy Butler shut him down, and that was his worst game in the bubble. And now that he's going to be guarded by Jimmy Butler for an entire series, I don't know how much he's going to be able to do in the bubble. The next matchup is Celtics versus Sixers. I'm going Celtics in 6 games. I think it could go 7, but me personally, since I watch a lot of Celtics games as a Celtics fan, I know they can be inconsistent. But one thing that does stay consistent is even though they have 4 players, 20-point per game scorers that usually don't all play well together all at the same time. Based off the Sixers not having Ben Simmons, I think that if just 1 or 2 of the Celtics' 4 scorers does really good, then I think they can beat the Sixers. So because of that, I'm going Celtics in 6, maybe 7, but my prediction is 6 games. And finally, for Raptors versus Nets, I know the Nets did really good in the bubble, but I don't know if Caris LeVert can do anything in the playoffs. My prediction is Raptors in 5. I think Caris LeVert is good for 1 game, but nothing more than that. And Nets fans should be very excited for next year because the fact that the Nets are missing their top 3 players, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and Spencer Dinwiddie, as well as DeAndre Jordan, who is another one of their key players, and a bunch of other guys. The fact that they were missing all of those players and had to call up players from the G League, and the fact that they're using, they're being led by a coach who has coached 9 games as a head coach, and they're still doing this good. Yeah, the Nets are going to be great next season if everything goes to plan, and everyone else should be very scared because the Nets might win the championship next year. Okay, so yeah, that's it for the Eastern Conference first round. Now let's go on to the Eastern Conference second round. So in the second round, I have Milwaukee versus Miami, and I'm going Bucks in 6. I know Bam Adebayo is a good matchup for Giannis, but I don't think Miami is going to be able to completely shut down Giannis as well as Toronto did last year because they really don't have enough big bodies to effectively build a wall against Giannis, which is the right way to guard him. And because of that, I think they'll only be able to get 2 games, and I think Milwaukee will not get upset just yet. Or I don't think they'll get upset in the second round. And in the second round, on the other side of the Eastern Conference bracket, Celtics versus Raptors, I'm going Celtics in 7 because I think the Celtics can match up good against the Raptors because even though the Raptors do have big centers, they don't have big star centers, and that's the Celtics' weakness. And because of that, since the Celtics don't have to worry about like very dominant centers, I think they'll be fine. But I think the Raptors could win this series. And I think that this is going to be one of the closest series in this entire playoffs. Now, going into the Western Conference, I'm going Lakers in 6. I know a lot of people are saying Lakers in 5. And a lot of people are saying Lakers in 7. I think it's going to be in the middle. I think the Blazers do have a chance. And I know that the Lakers are probably going to win. But I'm not willing to give up on the Blazers just yet, just because how well they played during the bubble, and I think like they can take there is a possibility that the Blazers beat the Lakers, but I just don't think it's gonna happen because the Lakers have 2 superstars, while the Blazers only have 1. But the Blazers do have the depth, and I think they do have like the firepower and the will to win to beat the Lakers. But me personally, I have the Lakers winning in 6. Now, Houston versus OKC, I'm going Rockets in 7, just like pretty much everyone else. And that is because even though the Rockets don't have Russell Westbrook for the first 1 or 2 games, I think they can win one of those games because when James Harden is on fire, the Rockets play incredible. And I think he'll be on fire for at least one of those 2 games. And also, the Thunder are missing Dennis Schroeder, and they might be missing someone else. I'm not entirely sure, but I know they definitely won't have Dennis Schroeder, and he has been a big part of their success. I know that he's not their entire team, but he is a big part of their success. And once Westbrook comes back, I think the Rockets will be clearly the better team, but I think OKC does have it in them to beat the Rockets in 7. But me personally, I'm going Rockets in 7. Next, we have Denver versus Utah. I'm going Denver in 6. Probably going to go 7. But I believe in Michael Porter Jr. And like based off how well Jokic and Jamal Murray played last game, if Michael Porter can play like he did in the regular season part of the bubble, then the Nuggets are easily going to beat the beat-up Utah Jazz. But like Donovan Mitchell is incredible. He dropped 57 on their heads yesterday. That's crazy. So I think Donovan Mitchell, if he keeps this up, I think he could push Denver to 7. But like without Bogdanovich and Mike Conley, I don't know if Utah can beat Denver. And the last round 1 matchup is Dallas versus Clippers. I'm going Clippers in 6. It could go 7, and the Mavericks could definitely beat the Clippers. But I don't think it's going to happen. But they can do it. So yeah, these playoffs are crazy because pretty much, like the only 2 teams that I don't think have at least a chance to upset are the Magic and Nets. And like all the other lower seeds, I think they have it in them to upset the higher seed. And that's crazy. This is going to be a very competitive playoffs. And I'm super happy that it happened. And on to the Western Conference second round. I'm going Lakers in 6 against Houston. Not 5 like many people have it going, but I think like small ball has just been so experimental. So like Houston could get swept by the Lakers, or they could sweep the Lakers. Like I think that's legitimately a possibility. We just haven't seen enough of small ball to see how well it's going to work against a team like the Lakers in a 7-game series. But I'm going Lakers in 6 for now, but this is a huge series for the future of small ball and the future of the NBA as a whole. Because if Houston is able to beat the Lakers, we will definitely see way more small ball teams in the next 2 or 3 years. And on the final second round matchup, we have Denver versus Clippers. Unlike Nick Wright, I don't think the Denver Nuggets will beat the Los Angeles Clippers, but I think they have a chance at doing it. And because of that, I'm going Clippers in 6. because I don't think Jokic is going to be as good as everyone thinks he is, because with all that weight loss, he's way more skinny. So I think the Clippers could possibly put Kawhi Leonard on him because of how big Kawhi's hands are and how good he is as a defender. I think that they could do that. But yeah, so I don't think the Nuggets are going to beat the Clippers, but once again, it's a possibility. Yeah, it's just crazy how competitive these playoffs are going to be. And now let's go to the conference finals. In the Eastern Conference, Bucks versus Celtics. I'm going Bucks in 5, maybe 6. During one of the matchups during the season, the Celtics beat the Bucks, and that was in their hot streak at the very beginning, which everyone forgot about. Yeah, remember way back in October or November when the Celtics were 10-1? Yeah, that was so long ago. But anyways, during one of those matchups, they actually put Marcus Smart on Giannis, and I know that's not going to work for the entire series, but Smart has been incredible defensively this year, and I legitimately think that there's a chance that he could guard centers or players as big as Giannis. Not completely slow them down, but at least, give them a tough time. Yeah, I think that's a possibility. And that just might be me as a Celtics fan being delusional, but I don't know. Yeah, but the Bucks have been incredible this year, and I think they will get past the Celtics in 5 games, potentially 6 games. But once again, there is upset potential here. Not as much as some of the other series, but I think there is upset potential here. And if the Raptors do beat the Celtics, I think the Raptors have a much better chance at beating the Bucks than the Celtics, because even though they don't have Kawhi Leonard, they still have OG Anunoby, who can be somewhat similar to Kawhi Leonard in his the way they used him last year against Giannis. And so they still have Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka, so they can still build their wall. They still have most of their core players except Kawhi Leonard, obviously, and I think OG Anunoby can at least be close to replicating Kawhi Leonard on the defensive end. On the Western Conference side, we have Lakers versus Clippers. Now, this is the matchup that everyone wants, the Battle of LA in Orlando. Yeah, that's just crazy that the Battle of LA is happening in Orlando. But I think pretty much everyone agrees that this series is going 7, except biased Clippers or Lakers fans. And I'm going Clippers. Paul George has been incredible. They have Montrezl Harrell back. They're looking really good right now, and the Lakers have been struggling. So, I know that the Lakers could just turn it up in the playoffs, but me personally, the Lakers bench is looking very weak right now without Avery Bradley and Rondo. It was looking suspect before that, but now it's looking pretty horrible, and I think that's going to matter. So I'm going Clippers in 7, but could very easily be Lakers. Now against the Bucks, so I know that Kawhi Leonard doesn't have Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka to build a wall anymore, but he still does have a really good, incredibly good defensive team against the Bucks in the finals, and he also has Paul George now. So I'm going Clippers in 7 against the Bucks, but once again, it could go either way. Anyways, that's it for this video. Be sure to subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you haven't already, and also comment down below if you would change anything about this playoff bracket and why. These playoffs are going to be really crazy, and I mentioned many potential upsets during the video. I didn't end up predicting any of them, but I think at least 1 or 2 of those upsets could happen, because the bubble has been super competitive lately. A lot of crazy things have happened, like the Suns, who had the second worst record coming into the bubble, went 8-0. Yeah, that's crazy. So I think there is potential for many different upsets, and I'm predicting that at least one of them will happen. I don't know which one will happen, but I think one of them will happen. But anyways, that's it for this video, so bye.